The right-wing coup in Germany you never heard about, but happened 3 years before the beer hall putsch that was led by the mustache guy. It started this evening, March 12th, 1920, and it was called the Kapp Putsch. Named after this man, Wolfgang Kapp, a member of the Reichstag at the time. He would be joined by this man, Walther von Lübowitz, and this guy, Hermann Ehrhardt, basically the muscle. See, following World War I, Germany was in a real bad situation. One, they had been beat. Two, they had to pay restitution thanks to the Treaty of Versailles. This left not only them in debt, but also a lot of out-of-work soldiers, which were known as Freikorps. These Freikorps needed work, and the government needed soldiers, even though they had to be disbanded in due time. They were heavily used to squash leftist uprisings, to protect the government, and also each sector, the left and the right, would employ them to be their muscle. And unfortunately, you can see where this evolved. Yeah. So anyway, Ehrhardt and company head into Berlin on March 12th, 1920. And when they do, they take over Berlin, which forced the actual president of the Weimar Republic, Friedrich Ebert, to flee to Dresden. And there's Friedrich Ebert, who had to flee to Dresden to regroup to figure out what to do after Germany was just taken over by, well, their own soldiers. You leave soldiers with nothing to do, that's what they're going to do. Especially when those soldiers march into Berlin wearing these. Yeah, that's what their helmets were, as you saw in the previous recruitment poster. So anyway, at this point, Kapp is now Chancellor of Germany. He is the man now, this man. He is taking over the country. However, the people, even though they weren't fond of the Weimar Republic, didn't like the idea that somebody just walked in and took over the nation. So the people actually fought back with the direction of Friedrich Ebert to actually hold on a massive general strike. So 12 to 14 million Germans decided to go on strike and simply not work. That's what they did. They just locked down the entire country in that nature where there's no food, no gas, no electric, no motor vehicles, Robinson Crusoe. So everything was locked down. They couldn't do anything. And essentially, that's what made the whole thing collapse. So as that collapsed due to the general strike, the guys had to leave. Kapp fled to Sweden. That was his exile. Ehrhardt had to sign a promise that he was going to be a good boy if he left peacefully and faced no retribution. On the way out, he got heckled and decided to open fire on some civilians, killing 12 of them and injuring about a couple dozen more. Either way, order was restored and Friedrich Ebert returned to take his presidency of the Weimar Republic. So all was well. I would like to add that there was somebody who was trying to make it to the coup, took a plane there, ended up in the wrong place, and ended up missing the coup entirely. By the time he got there, the thing had already collapsed as it failed within a week, and he missed it. And it was this guy. He may not look all that familiar in this photo. Probably looks a little more familiar in this one. Yeah, you know who this guy is. Anyway, you can tell by the mustache.